Hey everyone, it's the Modern Day Nana. How's everybody doing? Okay, last video we did some Dollar Tree ghosts, and this video we're going to do some vintage ghost stuff. I have got so many old vintage doilies, stuff like that. Here is just a pile of random scraps. Look at this tatting. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh, just some of this stuff is so beautiful. Some of it I've cut already. So so get your pile of scraps together. Now for this project, you're going to need what I'm using. You're going to need, if you've, in your vintage stuff, you have any old napkins. I think I tea stained this one. I just dunked it in tea and wrung it out and laid it to dry. Some vintage things are already real grungy. So we have scraps, we have vintage napkins. Literally, I'm just using bits and pieces because we're going to do underlayers. This was, look at the hem on that. This is out of an old dress, the lining of an old dress. So this is a great project to use your scraps on. This is that creepy cloth. We'll use it to make one a little more creepy. Now this is a great size if you're making a big one. This is, you can do your doily according to the size of the ghost you want to make. This one is probably, what, about 24 inches across. So it's a pretty good size. It's going to hang down and make a really neat ghost. It's thick. Let me see. Oh, and then also I had, now you can buy tulle. I had this left over from my daughter's wedding, which, I don't know, they've been married like 12 or 13 years. And this actually, you guys, was, I couldn't pass it up. It was this big bag of bows. They were purple and they were the white tulle. Somebody had gotten married and used these bows, and thankfully they donated the bows to the thrift store. Me, yeah, if you got more time than sense, I undid all of them. And this is the tulle from those bows. But come on! I know. So anyway, that, and then I have 3 of these little vintage, which you can't see them, so it wouldn't matter what you use. But I've got 3 of these little vintage vases. A couple of scroungy old, probably 1970s candlesticks. Now these actually I gotten in the spring stuff. They were like in the beach. They have Dollar Tree put out like a beach line, and these were like bowl fillers. And I had a bunch of them. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't use them. They're not my color scheme. Some old embroidery hoops, but I show you how to do it with just the small metal hoop that's a wreath form. Ugh, I'll get it out. If you don't have embroidery hoops, I have a whole tub of these, because you just pick them up for a little bit of money bundled together at the thrift store. So anyway, embroidery hoops. Oh, these come in a pack of 3 at the Dollar Tree. You'll want different sizes according to what you, how big you want your ghost. Let me see, what else? Buttons, vintage buttons, or not. Now you wouldn't have to have buttons for this project. You could have a little piece of felt, you could draw them on. I don't want to damage my linens in case I want to take these apart, so I'm just going to use some vintage buttons, needle and thread. Okay, and I think that is our supplies. So, all right, let's get going on the bigger bigger ones first, and then we'll go down to the smaller ones. Let me get this separated. This is what we can pull from if we need just some miscellaneous, you know, lace. Okay, I have got, oh, one thing I didn't tell you. I've just got a couple of Dollar Tree candles. You wouldn't have to have these, but I'm going to put my foam on top of this, and then we can turn this on and it'll glow. We can put little lights around them because some of them I'm not doing that with. I've got these two candlesticks that were just thrift store. I probably at some point painted them, but they're going to be my base for these couple of bigger ones I have. So it's not hard. It's kind of a scrappy craft, which I love. That is my absolute favorite. So we're going to start, and we're going to take our candlestick. Now you could use a vase, you could use a jar. You could do this actually on a dowel rod. You could just stick and do this, and then just stick this into something if you didn't want to deal with a base or didn't have it. And you can get those at the Dollar Tree, I'm pretty sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to gather up, I would say about 3 or 4 layers. Now that will, I just poked a little hole in here so it would go in the tip of the candle. Now I'm not gluing any of this down, so we could take it apart, you know, later if we wanted to. It'd be real easy to take apart. Look at this scrap. This is an absolute scrap of a mess, but that's really all we need. Let me see. So I'm just going to take a scrap, kind of center it on top of our foam ball, and I am going to just start layering. So this is just an underlayer. It's just junky material. You know, nothing we're going to honestly see. And then I'm just going to take this napkin. Again, I'm going to center it, kind of, right? And this is basically just giving that doily an underlayment, basically. I don't think that's the right term, but maybe if you're laying wood floors, I don't know. Anyway, so then, okay, so we just find the center, which is easy to do with these. And we're just going to stick the center on here, you know, close to the middle. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Even ghosts aren't perfect, just like us, right? It's okay. And now, I think this one's not super duper full, which is fine. Now we could do some of this, you guys. Let's pull this off. And this is just, you know, this is literally, there's no rhyme or reason. We're just throwing this stuff on here. It's fun to actually use, for me anyway, some of this nonsense I have laying around in tubs. I'm just going to take and drape some of the, oh yeah. And honestly, you know, the more, you know, extra you want to be, it's fine with me. I like it. You know, we like our ghosts nice and robust. All right, now, so we got that on there, and I did get that last year, like at the Dollar Tree. And see, you don't even see it, but it just gives it you see a little. And if you wanted to, well, we can pull it down. Yeah, so you are seeing some of it hanging down, which is super cool. Okay, now, let me see. You could take ribbon, you could take twine. This is, you know, how you get, I pick up, if I see ribbons and stuff like that at the thrift store. This was one, you know, that they had gathered. I could take this off. I don't think that we need to, depending on what you're doing with it. I'm just going to tie this around its neck. Now this I either coffeeed or tea stained. And like I said, I just dunked it in, wrung it out, and let it dry. We're going to take this and we're going to find where the end of our foam ball is. And we're just going to, you know, just tie it in a simple knot. And now this can be to your preference if you want yours good and tight. This one I feel like needs to be up a little. I can feel the candle under there, but you put it wherever you want it. We're just basically trying to make a definition, you know, of separating kind of the head from the body of the ghost. Okay? So, yeah, and I don't think I'm going to tie it in a bow or anything. And I'm just gonna cut these, you know, randomly. Okay? So that is as simple as that. Now all I have is a needle and thread. This was some old thread, super duper heavy, heavy duty. You can get, whoopsie, you can get like bags of thread, you guys, that will last you for years. You know, if you ever come across like a Ziploc baggie of thread at the thrift store, pick it up because that's probably all you'll need the rest of your life. And you can get the bag of thread sometimes for what you would pay for one spool of thread. Let's see if this has a price on it. It's old, but it's super sturdy, heavy duty. Extra strong, it says. Cool. And when you're done, you got a cool wood, that one's blue, thread. Now these look like they came off of a jacket of some sort. They're leather. They're black leather. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to find, now they can be as googly-eyed as you want. Oh, this is kind of cute right here, guys, because it's got, you know what? These are too big. Now, I just cut these. If we wanted to do this, I just cut these out of, I don't know, a piece of black material. So if we wanted to do these, we could. Okay. Those look a little cattywampus. Let's get a couple of smaller buttons. Oh man, look at these. These are cool. Got like little fake diamonds in. Now if you wanted to and you didn't care, you could just glue these on. But I don't want to do that because, I mean, I'm probably not. I've got a gazillion of these. But I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking I don't want to ruin my doily by putting glue on it. So I'm just going to sew this onto the crochet. And it won't take much. Okay. And I'm just going to go under to the other side and come up with my needle. Those eyes are a little, you know what, I might put just a scotch of thread on. Now these have got the thing in the back, so I'm just putting the needle through. And I'm just going to kind of do a little whip stitch. Okay. And put my little eyes on. And, you know, it might not be bad if they were a little kind of googly, you know, kind of a little wobbly. Wouldn't be the end of the world. I mean, you can do what you want. It's your ghost. Okay? And I just didn't want to, I'm just winding this thread around. And I'm going to cut it off. But yeah, you could do, oh, and you could do, I've got some googly eyes from,
Dollar Tree, so you could use googly eyes. Oh, his eyes are a little crooked. That's okay, baby. Look how cute. Okay, let's see. Pardon me. Okay. So I'm just going to pick it up. It's easy just to pick up. It's nothing's glued down there. You know, it's not stuck down by anything. Well, we can't see really, really well because it's not... Well, okay, guys. I don't know. It was a good thought, but maybe because I put so many layers, you're not going to be able to see the candle. I bet you will be able to, but that's okay. If you wanted to use this and you wanted to see the candle shining through, don't put so many layers on. Okay? We'll try it with this next one. So we have one more of these. So there's our first little sweetheart. Okay? So we have this. Let's go ahead and put our candle on so we can see. Okay? So we've got our little styrofoam ball. Stick her on there. All right, let's try. Let's try to be a little thinner, maybe. Let's see if we can see through it if we just put a couple layers. Now this is another option. It's just an old runner. It's just got some cute little lace on the very end of it. Okay, so let's center it over, you know, roughly center it over our ball. And then let's just put the doily over it. Now this one got something scroungy on it. I don't know. And this one is actually like a square. This one's more like a square, but that's okay. Just find the center, and we'll just kind of fold this part. I think it's from a candle stain. Oh, there we go. Okay, all right. So see, that's the secret. Just don't. I might go back and take a layer of that off. Now these are the only two we have as candles. Let me see. Here's just an old piece of trim that was on something. I'm just going from my scrap pile. Okay, and I'm just going to tie, just tie the piece of scrap around, and we can dress this up or down as much as we want. You wouldn't have to use the doilies, but I'm just trying to use up some of my vintage doilies. I'll show you one made with just a napkin if you don't want the lacy. Whoopsie doodle. No problem. That's what happens when you have scraps. Let's try that again. I'm trying to do it so you can see it here. All right. So there. I was trying to get it right at the ball. These are a little chunkier here because of the ball sitting straight on that candle. There. But we get the point. Now we need a couple more buttons. Okay, so it's just a matter, I just picked out some buttons out of my button jar. And let's see, find two that match. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, and none of them match. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, it's the same thing. Look how easy peasy this is. And this is a nice way of getting out, getting some of your stuff out. I have a tendency to just have stuff in tubs, and we got to get that stuff out and use it. And this is an adorable way to do that. And if you don't want to, get any glue or anything on your linens, then just
do what I'm doing. Okay, so there's our second little pretty. Okay. And see, this one has a little bit more of a flowy because this one was a square. But if you wanted it flowy, well, I'll show you. We'll do another one. So this one comes down and it's kind of draping over the table, which I like. This little one is not. So it is purely, you know, see how this one doesn't touch the ground? That's purely your choice and how you want to do it. And these were just old candlesticks that I had laying around, but I really like, you know, that you can see the light under there. That's cute. Okay, now let's do one that is just layers. I went ahead and got some layers on here. Let me see. So we'll just take them off. Now this one doesn't have a candle under it, so you can put as many layers as you wanted to underneath it. And we're just going to stick it on top of this. I'm not going to, I could put a little glue just to hold it. It's going to come, you know, it'll come off. So I'll put a little bit of glue. But let's go ahead and do, no, we better glue it first. So I'm just going to sit it on there. It won't be permanent, but that's fine. And then let's just take our layers. This was, again, a lining of a skirt. So, as I said before, if you guys have old clothing, before you take it to the thrift store, if it's something that you can craft with, and, you know, it's not in the best condition to rewear, then cut it up, okay? This is a couple of miscellaneous napkins. Really pretty though. Look at the little emblem. That one's a flower. So we have just a scrap piece, a tulle piece, and let's do the lighter color, depending on what you want. And then let's do the creamy colored one over that. Let me make sure I get my flower kind of in the front. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Now we could just take, like I said, you could use anything to dye this up. I'm just grabbing this, it's sitting here, okay? And see, this is going to make a little more narrow. Those were kind of chunky at the neck because of the way we put them on that candlestick. But it's as easy as this, guys. Oh, so precious. Adorable. Ooh. And then we can put a couple little eyes. Now I've also got, some old snaps around here too, but really anything. You know what? Let's just go ahead and glue these for the sake of time. If I can find my glasses. And I've got a bunch of these, they're just so pretty, just the different facets, the way they're made. Guess I should have found the one that matches before I went to, oh, here it is. And you could, like I said, you could take a marker, you could, and we can dress this up or down. Ooh, as much as we want. How precious is that? Look at the layers. That's so cute. Just by standalone or in a group. So I've got these guys. I've got these two little ones. And this one, see, I did the very same thing. She's on one of these old vintage little vases, but look how pretty. Look at the detail. And this I've just layered tulle underneath it. So same thing, Put a couple little eyes. I was trying to find, here it is. Look at these. They're just little old snaps. Let's put snaps on her. And this one, she's just got a piece of tulle. Now on this one, I did stick a little craft stick under here. I glued a little craft stick onto the base to have her fluff out a little more on the arms. But really, once you get the fluff on, I kind of determined you didn't really need them. And these are mixed match because one is, you know, one's top and one's the bottom. I think I'll glue it on so the pokey part is going in. The part you would actually snap with. I don't know, maybe not. Let me turn it around. You got a little time to work with the glue. And I'm putting a dab of glue on this, but you know guys, you just, it's okay. We gotta do what we gotta do. See, so you can use whatever. Cute. And we haven't messed up the vases, so we can, you know, use them again for something else. These are a little cone shaped. And I'll put it on here. Just pretty. I'll just do, you know, like a set. I think this goes with anything. Ones. I mean, it's fine to have a couple of something, but something about the odd numbers. Oh, that's cute. Ooh. And we can dress this up or down. I've got some things that we could kind of, I'll show them to you in a second. Okay, so we have our three cuties and our couple of bigger ones. I wanted to show you this one I did, and she is, I keep calling them she's, you know, whoever. They are over the top. Oh my gosh, I've just got layers and layers. I couldn't stop. Look at this one. And this is one of those candlesticks. Oh, she doesn't have, this is one of those. So I have one more of these to do. And this is one of these. So if you didn't have the foam, you didn't have something like this, you could just roll something up and put it in here. You could roll fabric up, you could have a ball of yarn, make it tight, you know, something you're not using, paper and tape it. So, you know, just something to make a ball out of. But look at her, she's just got layers and layers. This was an old tablecloth, an old sheer, part of an old piece of eyelet fabric. And then this is another part of that silky under. Why don't we just do these fabric eyes? Just putting a tiny dab of glue. And they're kind of there. This would be so cute in a table setting, up on a shelf with up on a shelf with all of this hanging down over it. And we'll put some little lights. We can braid some little fairy lights up underneath it, so you could use whatever. Oh look, this fits perfectly! This was an ornament I got at, I think I got it at Walmart last year. Oh my goodness. Oh, how precious is that? Oh, it's got one of the little diamonds missing. We'll just put that towards the back. Well, she might be a ghost, but she still got her crown. All right, anyway, so there's those, okay? So you get the gist of it. You get your junk, you make the head out of, get a foam, get a something, get a little stand, whether it's a jar, a vase. Oh, these are like little ghost babies with her. Oh, I love this one. It's got all the little ghost babies with her. And yes, we could dress them up. I'll probably will dress them up more, so I'll show you, like when I style them, they'll probably have more. Oh, I do have these. You know, we've got these cute little, I've got just having a pumpkin laying in its lap. You can't really see that one that well. I don't feel like. If you wanted to keep them all, or you could have an orange for a pop of color. This is just a tag from Dollar Tree. I don't think this came from there, but you can get the white markers from there, the paint, and we could just write something easy on it, like literally super easy, like boo. I'm doing this holding it up. Oop, that's about a goner. Well, we'll go ahead and do it. I could do a little better if I wasn't holding this up, but you get the, that's cute. Tie this on. Okay, and then here are these beauties. We're running out of space, but I love these. I'll take a layer out of this one. Okay, now let's get on to the next one though. I have one more to use with vintage linens that is so super duper easy. And you don't have to ruin your linens on that one either. Okay, alright guys, so let's put together this embroidery hoop ghost. We need to lay down the outside of the hoop, the one that's got the tightener on it. We want it a little bit looser. We don't want it all the way tightened up because we're putting layers of fabric in it. So, you know, you can just play with it. Okay, let's make this part the bottom because this is going to be the top of the ghost head. Okay, we're just going to lay our fabric over it about halfway, half the length. Lay our, this is the innermost piece. This is the next piece. And then this will be our top piece. And you make that whatever you want. And it can be wonky and, oh, hold on, there's an inside and outside. There we go. You know, it doesn't have to be, it can be disheveled. Okay, so we have those laid down. Now, we need to take, this is the top of our ghost, this is his head. We need to take this and pick it up. Okay? And we can lay it down on the table. And now this is the back of our ghost head. We just take the inner part of the ring, of the embroidery ring. See, we've got layers. but we don't want it super loose. And we just put it over the fabric. And what that's going to do is going to enclose the bottom layer, but it's going to keep our top layer open. Okay? So now we've got this great ghost. And if we want to, let's go ahead and do this. I did this on some of the others. Just to make the head more defined, let's turn it over to the back. And I'm just going to take my needle and thread. Let's go ahead and decide where we want our eyes on this little sweetheart. Okay? Let's decide where we want the eyes. Let's see. Do we like these big ones? Maybe we want to use these big ones for this one, because we can really get in there and sew them in. I'm just going to go around to the back and see if I can find a good spot to come in at. So I'm just stabbing through to the front. See my needle? Now, if you don't care, you could just glue them. But I feel like these would be more secure, and if I wanted to use this again, it wouldn't have glue on it. And I'm just going to do just like you're sewing on a button, you know, on a pair of pants or whatever. Just give it a couple of rounds. A lot of these old buttons have the little loop on the back that you can sew through. That's just how they were made. Okay, so we got him on. Let's go right next door. And we don't have to undo our thread or anything, because you're not going to see it in the back. You could, if you wanted to, put a, you could finish that back up. If you were going to sell these, you'd want to probably make a more finished looking back. I'm not going to sell them. I'm just using them for personal use. Well, come on, guys. Okay, I think we finally have it. Oy. This might seem a little googly because, like I said, they've got those metal loops on the back. That's how they held them together. Alright, I'm just going to give this a couple of whip stitches on the back. And then what I'm going to do to make our ghost a little more defined, I'm just going to take in the back and kind of fold this. And there's really no rhyme or reason, just kind of fold it down so from the front this is a little more defined. See what I'm saying? So I'm just going to gather a bit of fabric on here and here, kind of make it like you're overlapping it. And I'm just going to take my needle and thread and come down in here and just give this a couple of stitches. Again, just a little whip stitch, no biggie. We can pull them right out if we want to use it for something else. And then again, we can embellish these however we want, or not at all. Because he's super cute, just like that. Woo! Okay, so it's the same concept, except we just don't have the hoop to snug it down into. So this is our top layer. This is that sheet. And this is, I think, part of a old bed skirt. Okay? So I laid down my fabric like we just did in the other one. This one's got 3 layers. This I just painted. It's just one of those little wire wreath frames from Dollar Tree. I just painted it white. See on the back, it's green. Probably wouldn't have to if you put enough layers, but I didn't really want to see anything through it. So I just laid out my fabric, lay down however many you want. This is the innermost side. Okay, so lay your frame down, and we'll do the same as we did to the other one. We'll just have to do a couple of stitches. So let's fold over our first layer, fold over our second layer, and now this is just a really cool old linen vintage table runner, I guess is what you call it. And you end up with just your wreath form underneath and your layers of, so you've just basically taken and stuck the wreath form under all of this and just gotten it where you want it. But see, now it's just kind of shapeless and formless, which actually is cool, but I'm wanting a little more defined, so we're just going to do the same thing we did with the one with the scarf. We're just going to take and fold up the back where we want it and put a couple of stitches in it. Okay, and then let's turn it over. Now if we wanted to get this tighter, we could. Let's turn it over though and see what we've got. Okay, so this is the top of our ghost. And we can do, let's see, I dropped some of my beads. I can hear the cat playing with something. Here's a couple of little ones. They're cute. Really sweet. They look like eyes. And let's decide, you know, and you can do your ghost eyes far apart. You can do them close together. Let's do these a little further apart, okay, and see what they look like. That is, I think, purely up to your taste in what you want your little ghost to look like. So just come back through the back and, you know, sew your eye in. If you don't have a needle and thread, or you don't, this, you know what, guys, this would be a great way to practice if you're not comfortable with needle and thread, because first of all, if you were to mess it up, you just take it out and start over, and second of all, we are literally just haphazardly whipping through this on the back with some whips, you know, whip stitches. Okay, let's see. Now, where do we want this guy? Do we want him kind of far apart? Let's see what he looks like with his eyes a little further apart. Okay, just put him on. And then this gives you a nice base if you're decorating. And you could go any way with this. I'm thinking, you guys, I gotta get my pumpkins out. I'm thinking I want to do some decoupage, and I want to do some dried flowers on some of the pumpkins. Now, I got, literally, you guys, I got a trash bag full of pumpkins last year. I happened to be at the Walmart and looked at, well, I went by the clearance section, and there were these pumpkins. I think I got them for like 50 cents a piece. Big, beautiful, you know, they're getting rid of them. Anyway, we can do something with all those, but I was thinking it would be really pretty to like decoupage some dried flowers on them, paint them white and or orange, but I thought that would be really pretty with this look. So yeah, so here's our baby. I'll just you know, put this in a little knot in the back so it doesn't fall out, and that is with a, you know, just a little wreath frame. But look how cute. Hey, sweetie. Hey, sweetie pie. Oh, I love it. Okay, I got to show you the couple others I did. because I love this one, I think, the most. He's cute with his eyes like that. They're all unique, you know. I'm just going to take a piece of twine and make a little hoop. Something to hang it with. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and sew mine in. I'm just going to put it up here at the top. Give yourself, you know, inch and a half. And I'm gonna sew mine in. Like I said, if you don't care, well, I guess I need to put a knot in it. If you don't care about getting glue on your fabric, just glue it. I'm gonna go ahead and take a stitch through this to get it going. Make sure I get these in here. And I'm just gonna stitch it right on here, and this will give us a nice little loop to hang our ghost. We'll make it solid. Uh-oh. Little Luna baby's got one of the buttons. She has a ball with anything. She's so cute. She's got her last kitten appointment tomorrow at the vet. And then next time she goes, she'll be a big girl. I don't know how old she is. Maybe 3 months. Maybe about 3 months. I don't think people knew that we got her from there. So now we have some place for our little ghost to hang and blow in the breeze. Okay, let me show you these little guys. I'll save the one I love this one, and this is just one of those. Oh no, this is let me see if I can find it. This is just look, this is an old metal oval hoop. So if you see these hoops at the thrift store, see how I just whip stitched that in the back and put the little thing on? I just whip stitched it around. I put the eyes on, and then I just whip stitched that around to make it tighter so you could see the form of it. Isn't this adorable? So cute. This one, though, is my favorite, and I thought this would be so pretty with some decoupage pumpkins, right? That you painted like a cream color and then put some flowers on, some dried flowers. Let's try that, okay? I will get the stuff together and we'll try. I'll have to find the pumpkins, but we'll try that. If not next time, the time after. So we've got pumpkins to do. We've got some witch stuff to do. Let me see. Witches, pumpkins, cats. I made this crazy looking cat, you guys. I thought would be cute sitting with the ghosts. I'll get it out. So we have all the Halloween-y stuff to do. So here's our babies. I gotta put a loop on this one, but here's these babies. We got a whole family of ghosts. How sweet are those? And this is just all junk I had. Okay, let me take them outside and see if I can get a pic. It's a beautiful day and I've got to go to work. Okay guys, we moved outside for a minute. I just wanted to show you all of these lovelies out in nature. It's a beautiful day. So we have our little ones that we made out of the little vintage vases, and we have the queen there. These little kiddos, and then I just hung these up on a hook. Now they're blowing in the wind. If you had them in the house, you know, they'd just be showing forward, but I think you get the gist of it. Adorable. Ooh, on a nice summer day. Oh, I love this one. Here, let me get this one turned around. Come here, fella. He's got the wonky eyes. So cute. Here's this little one that was just out of another table runner. Adorable. And then this one was out of an old scarf. Okay, so doilies, scarves, vintage, you know, things like that, scraps and bits and pieces. Here, let me real quick, old napkins. Let me put her down here so we can see what she looks like hanging off. There. See how she looks hanging off the table, or you could hang her off of a shelf. We can get everybody looking at the same time. So, okay. Get your stuff out, guys, and let's get to crafting, making some adorable vintage ghosts. And I will see you guys soon with another craft. My son's wedding is less than 2 months away now, so we are gearing up for that, and I'm working on stuff for that too. So who knows what I'll bring you next, okay? I hope you'll stay tuned, like and subscribe, hit the notification button if you want to see what's coming up. I pretty much post a new video Mondays and Fridays. And yeah, the modern day Nana. I'll see you guys soon. Love you. Bye.